The elk is the largest animal in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, weighing 1,000 pounds and as tall as 5 feet at its shoulder. Formerly extinct, the elk maintains a population in the Appalachia area of around 200 elk. So what is an elk? The elk is the second largest animal in the deer family. Moose are the largest. Elk are known to enjoy both forests and the edge of forests, where they can feed on grass, plants, leaves, bark, etc. Male elk have antlers that they shed every year. During the mating season, elk establish dominance over others in the herd through a series of aggressive behaviors. Currently, elk roam North America and Eastern Asia, but there has been evidence found that they populated Western Europe about 50,000 years ago. But what happened to the elk in the Smokies? Elk were not only native to North America, but they inhabited the Appalachian Mountain range for hundreds of thousands of years. European settlers then brought aggressive hunting and diseases with them to the New World, which eventually led to the extinction of the elk in the Appalachian Mountains. The last elk in North Carolina was killed in the late 18th century, while the last elk in Tennessee was killed in the early 19th century. In the 1990s, the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation proposed to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park a reintroduction program that would bring the extinct elk back into the natural population of the park. After years of environmental analysis, risk assessment, and public debate, the park began an experimental release to see if reintroduction into its natural habitat could be successful. In 2001, 25 elk were released into the Appalachia Valley. The next year, 27 more were released. In 2008, the experimental contract had expired, and the project was deemed a great success, so officials moved to meet full reintroduction standards. Now, the elk population in the Appalachia Valley hovers at around 200 elk and is growing every year. As is always the case, conservationists will continue to monitor the herds and analyze how they behave in the Smokies. While maintaining a healthy and reproductive elk population is the main priority for everybody, there are other things we can do to improve their future. As many as 30,000 vehicles per day drive extremely close to the area around the elk population. Both TDOT and NCDOT have begun plans to integrate multiple wildlife crossing areas over the vital interstates and highways in the area. This will hopefully reduce the chances of any wild elk running out onto the road and meeting an unfortunate end. If you want to see the wild elk, the Appalachia area of the park should be your destination. The elk enjoy spending their time in open meadows in the Appalachia Valley. The best time to see the elk population in action is either at dusk or dawn. This is when they are most active during the day. If you're in search of elk calves, you'll want to try to visit them in early summer. If the rut mating season is what you came to see, then September and October give you your best chance of an encounter. Elk are massive mammals that can be dangerous in any situation. That is why it is so important to understand how to act around them. Both female and male elk have been known to charge people. If you see a calf alone, do not touch or move it, as its mother is most likely close by and will retaliate. If you're searching for elk during their mating season, realize they will be naturally more aggressive. If an elk approaches you, back away and give it space to move. If an elk charges you, do not turn your back. Find cover behind a tree or a vehicle. Make sure to protect your head and neck during any type of charge. So how do you safely view an elk? First off, it's important to say that approaching an elk at a distance closer than 50 yards is illegal. It is vitally important to follow this rule, as well as others, to maintain both the safety of you and the elk. If you see that an elk stops feeding, changes direction, or alters its behavior in any way, then you are too close and you need to retreat. A few quick tips to remember when searching for elk is to pull your car off of roadways, stay close to your vehicle. If an elk approaches you, retreat to your vehicle, keep your dogs on a leash in the car, maintain a safe distance, and do not feed the elk. Otherwise, have fun enjoying one of the greatest creatures the Appalachian Mountains has to offer.